Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Why are those sanctions imposed on Russia again? Oh, to try to economically strangle it? Oh, and since you do that economically, the industry is like that, and then they will not be able to fight the war, correct? And they will have an economic crisis, and people will go in the street, and on that you activate your little cells that you have in the country, and they will maneuver a little bit the population, mass little control, and then you go and overthrow the regime. That's how it works. This is the ABC, okay? With a little bit of details here and there if you want to be more creative. But this is basically what they try, right? So they try on the population being very upset with living standards, and then you, based on that, you activate your things and you direct them towards wherever you want to hit peacefully. But the problem is this might happen in the Western countries because the Russians did not collapse. The Russian economy does not collapse. On the contrary, it expands, and the American and the German and the British one shrinks. So it's the total reverse here. And we hear that actually the Russian factory activity expands at fastest rate in September since 2019. So instead of declining, it increases productivity and production. People are working, people have something to do, and they get money to use it in their economy. All right? So let's see what this article says. This article comes from Reuters, okay? So it's from our side. It's our mass media that we trust, the free mass media. This article comes from October 3rd, if you can believe that. Russian factory activity expands at fastest rate in September since 2019, PMI says. Now, Russian manufacturing activity grew. How about the US manufacturing activity, aside from building weapons to kill people or defend countries by killing other people? How are we doing? I think we're going up. I think we're going way up. So the manufacturing activity in Russia grew at its fastest rate in 3.5 years in September, driven by rises in production, new orders, and client demand. Yay! A business survey showed on Monday, though Western sanctions continued to weigh on export business. Okay, the S&P Global Purchasing Managers Index, PMI, rose in September to 52.0. Below 50, you're shrinking. Above 50, you're expanding. Usually it's about 50, 51, 51 point something. This is 52.0 from 51.7. That means they're in a boom, economic boom. We are in a recession. We are doing great, I guess. So it says it rose in September to 52.0 from 51.7 in the previous month, climbing higher above the 50.0 mark that separate expansion from contraction, to its highest point since March 2019. Want to move to Russia? Not yet, because if Putin goes away, then we're going to see Yeltsin again. You don't want to see Yeltsin times again, but that's the alternative. Client demand, I'm quoting, client demand was focused on domestic customers. However, as new export orders declined steeply, S&P Global said in a monthly survey, and I'm quoting again, the decrease in foreign client demand was attributed to the loss. Where are we? Let me find. It was right there. Getting older. The decrease in foreign client demand was attributed to the loss of customers and the impact of sanctions, end quote. And now we go to the next page. The United States and European Union last week promised to impose more sanctions on Moscow because things are going so bad over there. Oh my God, you know that definition of insanity, right? The same as here. Do the same thing and expect a different result. The same here. Do the same thing. More is like you give more food to a pig and the pig is gonna lose weight, right? That's your expectation? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know under what laws, but so the United States and European Union last week promised to impose more sanctions on Moscow after Russia staged referendums in 4 Ukrainian regions and later declared that he was annexing them. Western governments and Kiev said the move was a breach of international law. You talking about international law? Don't even dare to talk about international law. You have troops in Syria. What the are you talking about? Syria is a sovereign independent country. Why are those 900 minimum US soldiers doing in East Syria? I'm telling you, they extract oil from there. That's where they have the oil, the biggest wells of Syria. And what do they do with the oil? The military is waiting. You know, I told that analogy, like the banker, the thieves that go into a bank, the robbers. There are some outside and the other ones are in the vault getting the loot quickly. And the other ones are outside protecting. So these are the US military protecting the US companies looting Syrian oil. That's exactly what it is. Sue me. All right, not you. You're with me. You're my man right here. All right, so it says Western governments and Kiev said the move was a breach of international law. Yeah, okay. Employment rose at the fastest pace since January, which firms attributed greater production requirements and a rise in new order inflows. It was not clear how heavily President Vladimir Putin's partial mobilization order made on September 21st had weighed on workplace numbers. Tens of thousands of men have been drafted into the army or have fled abroad since then. The same could be said for sentiment about future output, which rose in September to its highest since March 2019. And I'm quoting, greater optimism reportedly stemmed from new product development, greater import substitution, and hopes of an uptick in client demand, S&P Global said. Well, the thing is, you see, the Russians are discriminating. They don't get all the genders in the military, they just get the male. They're gonna die, and then what? The other ones are gonna take over. Yeah, they try. Not in Russia, though. Wait for Putin to kick the bucket. Today is his birthday, so happy birthday, Mr. Putin. And he's 70 years old. I can believe that, to be honest with you. He doesn't look 70, doesn't act 70, but he's 70. Anyway, but age is not an impediment. You can see Biden. And Biden is a good example. In the shuffling madness. That's where he is. Oh my God, I can't believe, how bad. And you have Biden and you have Putin. I don't know. Or you have Biden and you have Xi Jinping. Or you have, Biden and you have Modi. Or you have, Erdogan. Oh my God, Erdogan slaps these guys around like around the room. Imagine Erdogan in a room with all these weasels. It's like the fox in the chicken coop. That's how I imagine it. But Erdogan is cool. He just moves slowly. If you watched him, he's not fast. He moves slowly. He has charisma, it's called. He is courageous. He's got big balls there, I'm telling you. So the Russians are doing great. Manufacturing sector is doing great. United States' manufacturing sector is doing shitty. It's okay. We don't need it. We are a post-industrial society. We are a service-based society. That means we do massages, we braid hair, we do other kind of services, if you know what I mean. And we use a lot of drugs, prescribed medication. Yes. Legally distribution of drugs. Because I can't remember who said that. These doctors nowadays are drug dealers, are not doctors anymore. Oh well, and this country wants to dominate the world, the society. Did you go outside? Did you go into some stores and see who's shuffling over there? Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.